Outer Banks are barrier islands off of the coast of North Carolina, and for the past 4 years, I've been making a series of landscape images there because I've just really fallen in love with this place, with the landscape, with the light. It's got incredibly unique geography, the way it's situated between two different bodies of water. It's a long, skinny island, and because of this geography and because it's situated between water like that, it just gets incredibly beautiful light. And for the past 4 years, I've been trying to photograph this place, trying to just document how special it is, how beautiful the atmosphere is, how beautiful the landscape is. And this is now my 6th trip going out there to continue working on this project. And in this video, I want to share some of those images with you. The next morning, I was joined by my friends Jimmy and Dave, and we headed to a pier that was quite close to the house we were staying at for a beautiful sunrise. And I ended up making one of my favorite photos to date in the Outer Banks here, and it's of a puddle of ocean water that had just washed up on the beach. And I think it's really beautiful because the ocean water that just washed up is so still, especially in contrast to the waves that are just a few feet away, which are like really energetic. They're crashing onto the beach. It's got this really nice motion blur to it, and I just love the way this picture turned out because of that. During the middle of the day, we usually just wander around, try and find a new part of town or a new street that we haven't explored yet. And this time around was no exception. We walked around in the middle of the day photographing the house that is like situated over the Atlantic Ocean. There were some beautiful sand dunes that kind of swallowed the road. And we also found a really interesting pool over the bay. Click. One of my favorite series of all time, which I think was especially in the back of my mind on this trip, is Hiroshi Sugimoto's landscapes of the ocean, and specifically of the horizon line. It's always the exact same composition in black and white. It's 50% water, 50% sky, and it's just endlessly beautiful in the way that it has so many different textures and so many different shades of gray, from essentially photographing the same thing over and over again at different times of day and different times of year. To me, it's just the essence of what photography is even about. It's about light, it's about color. In this case, black and white color. That doesn't make any sense, but I don't need to try and explain it because the photos speak for themselves. But this series in particular has just been a big inspiration for me, and I think this time around especially had me just looking at the water a lot, trying to recreate these compositions that he made, but instead with color and during the daytime. The ocean is such a simple, cliche thing to photograph, but at the same time, there is endless possibility in photographing it as far as color goes and texture and light. And I think my appreciation for that largely comes from Sugimoto's black and white seascapes. went back to the location that you had seen us at earlier of the house over the Atlantic Ocean and the pool that was over the bay. And it's really nice coming back and revisiting these spots that we've already photographed, but in more dynamic and interesting light. Funny enough, I actually think that the pool photo that was taken during the middle of the day was better than the one that was at like the beautiful glowing sunrise light. I think the sunrise light was a little too visually strong. I love just the ripples of light that you get in the water when the sun is up high in the sky versus the sunrise photo. It's one of those things that I feel like David Hockney painted really beautifully in all of his work, and whenever I see it in real life, it always reminds me of his paintings. I love trying to photograph this place year round. Like I said, this is now my 6th trip in 3 or 4 years, I think. And there's something really beautiful about it because each time we come back at a different time of year, the light that we get is completely different. The atmosphere is completely different. We've been here during hurricanes, during just beautiful summer days, during cold winter days, and it all looks completely different. And I think that's what this project is largely about for me, is trying to photograph that diversity in the atmosphere that you get in this place. Overall, I think this was a really nice trip considering it was like a 3-day weekend thing, and I came back with some photos that I really liked. I'll link my buddies Jimmy and Dave, who were on the trip with me, in the description. You can check out some of their work from the same place, which I always find fascinating because it ends up being so different every time. Finally, I want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is an incredible all-in-one website building platform that you can use to build your photography portfolio online. I've been using Squarespace for so many years now, and they've made it so easy to get a website up and running with my photography. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you can hit the link in my description for a 14-day free trial of Squarespace. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Willem for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.